Hello friends, I am back with my series of SIP Story of Impressive Person, where I invite some legends who shares their stories of success, struggles, challenges they faced in their life, which in turn give us many learning to move forward and follow their footsteps. Obstacles are bound to come in our way, but we must know how to overcome it. The legend have that capability to deal with such problems and obstacles in their way. Winners are born to win, legends are born to help society to grow, improve, learn, improvise. They are born to show the right path, the path to get success and to fulfill your objective. Dear friends, today I am very happy to share with you that very special guest who is the source of inspiration for many youth engineers and other engineers in the country and abroad, who always care about the climate change and who wants to make this earth beautiful and better to live in. Yes, he is none other than respected Honorable Chetan Singh Solanki, sir. He is with me. And now time to give a brief introduction before I start my dialogue. Respected Chetan Singh Solanki, sir, is a professor at IIT Mumbai. He is a founder of Energy Swaraj Foundation. He is a brand ambassador of solar energy for Madhya Pradesh and also referred as Solar Man of India and Solar Gandhi. He is an educator, he is a researcher, innovator, and happiness program teacher of Art of Living. He is currently on unpaid leave from IIT Mumbai and he has undertaken Energy Swaraj Yatra from November 2022 through a solar bus for 11 years until 2030. In this Yatra, he has pledged not to go home until 11 years and stay in the solar bus. In wake of serious and catastrophic climate change, the Energy Swaraj Yatra is designed with a purpose to create a public movement towards adoption of 100% solar energy. He has also led solar projects at IIT Mumbai through his Soul's Solar Urja through localization for sustainability. And he could reach 7.5 million families, providing them clean light. Dear friends, there are several awards to his credit. The award includes IEEE Global Grand Prize of 1 lakh US dollar, Prime Minister Innovation Award for South Projects, first prize in Solar Chula Design Challenge by ONGC, 3 Guinness World Record, 2 Young Scientist Award, Outstanding Green Activity Award, and many more. And he is the chairman of the committee of CBSC and AICT for Solar Curriculum Development and member of National Focus Group on Environmental Education. He has written 8 books and published over 100 research papers internationally, and he has 4 US patents to his credit. Dear friends, without wasting further time, I would like to invite respected Chetan Singh Solanki, sir, on my platform of Igniting Power Engineers. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajesh, for having me in your program. Thank you so much.
Okay, and sir, with your permission, I would like to start my conversation.
Please, let's go ahead.
Sir, respected sir, first of all, we would like to start with a brief description about your education and your profession.
Well, I mean, I come from a small village. I studied in a primary school in a village called Nemit, which is in Khargon district of Madhya Pradesh. But I was fortunate enough to be sent to Indore for engineering, for schooling and engineering. Then I did my master's from IIT Bombay, and I wanted to do more research. And then I went to Europe in IMEC, Belgium, to pursue my PhD in solar cell technology.
Wow!
So that is how it grew.
And sir, how did you get the idea of Energy Swaraj Yatra strike in your mind, and how long did it take to materialize the idea you have in your mind?
Well, I mean, I would say this was the outcome of 20 years of my professional life, and the way why I wanted to switch from the microelectronics. I was working for Texas to solar because I wanted to work on a technology that is useful for society. And ever since I became professor at IIT Bombay, I've been doing something, writing books and all. But eventually, the whole idea was how the society at large is benefited from the work that I have done.
Great.
And in the entire journey, I have come with the solar lamp program that became very successful. We have provided solar lamp to 8.5 million families. But the manner in which we provided was more unique, where we trained local people to assemble, repair, and maintain, even manufacture locally.
Okay.
In that series, in 2019, I traveled across the world. We wanted to celebrate 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi in a very unique manner, where the people and students all over the world learn to assemble their solar lamps.
Wow.
And take a pledge of non-violence to environment. And because Gandhian philosophy is a universal philosophy, I thought everybody should do this. And when I completed my yatra, many things happened. First of all, 9.25 lakh students made their lamp in a single day on Gandhi Jayanti on 2nd October 2019.
Wow.
Then we got an award from a IEEE Global Grand Prize of 100,000 US dollar. We were the global winner of the whole idea of how energy solution should be solved. That is the idea of Energy Swaraj. Then my book was released. We got a couple of Guinness World Records. So that is when I started thinking that, and by that time, the climate change has become a big problem. There was a report from IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change in 2018, that clearly highlighted that 1.5 degrees centigrade is the temperature where we should stop global warming. But when I traveled across the world, I realized that all over the world, whether rich country or poor countries, they are not doing enough. And as a result of that, climate change is worsening rather than slowing down. And that's what I thought, I want to do something. And if I want to do something, I want to see the impact in my life. I just don't want to do something which is feel-good factor. And how do I create an impact? And it's a global problem. How do we solve global problem? And one day I was thinking, as idea struck to my mind, if Gandhiji would have been here on the planet right now, what he would have done.
Wow.
And immediately the idea is that he would have started some kind of yatra, like a Dandi march. And that's what the idea came, that I should do the yatra. And now we are in modern world, so rather than walking, I decided to do it by bus. And because it's a global problem, 1 or 2 years of yatra will not be sufficient. And that's why I thought it should be of sufficiently long time to prove that it works or it doesn't work. So about 11 years is what I chosen. And because it's such a big problem, I thought it will not be enough to do it at a part-time. And you cannot take a break on Saturdays and Sundays and Holi and Diwali. And that is where I took that decision that for 11 years, I will not go home, and I'm going to live in my bus. And 11 years non-stop, I'm going to think about the problem. And that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Great, sir. Great. And how did you get the title of Solar Man of India and Solar Gandhi of India? How did you get that title?
Well, I mean, you don't get this title, people give that. So okay. I have no role to play in that.
Okay.
It's only when people and some journalists started writing in the newspapers, and a couple of newspapers have written about this title. And yeah, so I have not done anything to do that.
Sir, can you elaborate Energy Swaraj Foundation? What is the role of that foundation you created? Well,
the whole idea is that, the whole world is a game of energy, I describe, And if you're not playing this game properly, you will be in trouble. And unfortunately, the world is not playing the right game. Right now, we are running our lives 80 to 85% on carbon-based energy, the coal, oil, and gas, which results in carbon dioxide emission, which is a greenhouse gas. It results in global warming and eventually climate change. So the whole idea is that the energy has created a problem, the use of carbon-based energy. And if at all we want to solve the problem, I think we need to correct our energy first. We need to use the clean energy. We need to use solar energy. So the whole idea of Energy Swaraj is to switch to solar energy 100% in a manner that it is localized. So energy Swaraj I describe as energy by local for local.
Okay.
If local people generate their own energy using local resources with local community, using local skills, then it becomes energy Swaraj. And until unless, as I said, if you do not solve the problem of energy, the climate change problem, the violence in the world, the inequity in the world will not be solved. And therefore, energy Swaraj is a very powerful idea in the modern times, not only for India, but all over the world, that with this tool, energy Swaraj as a tool, not only we can solve the problem of energy and energy independence, but we can also solve the problem of local job creation, skill development, local economic development, energy security of the country, and of course, the climate change mitigation. So this foundation, Energy Swaraj Foundation, has been established, has been founded to establish Energy Swaraj, not only in India, but all over the world, because everybody needs Energy Swaraj.
True, very true. Sir, can you tell me something about your solar urja through localization for sustainability project you have taken when you were working in IIT Mumbai?
Well, all my learnings are, I would say, major learning, the bigger picture of the world and the bigger picture of how to use solar energy. In fact, I've written a book also after my yatra. It is called Energy Swaraj, My Experiments with Solar Truth. How should solar be used? And all these experiments I have done through the SOULS project, SOULS, Solar Urja through localization for sustainability. So very clearly says you need to use solar energy, but through localization, which means by locally doing it and by involving local people, using local resource. And when we localize the solar energy solution, then in true sense, we become sustainable. And that's what the whole idea of the project that we did in a very massive scale at IIT Bombay with the help of the government funding, with the help of social funding, and also with the help of local funding. So all the elements were there, local people were involved, local people repaired, local people. In fact, we have trained 10,000 women in UP, Bihar, Assam, Jharkhand, Odisha, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. And they've earned about 28 crore rupees from the project, the work they have done. So basically, the whole learning that I got, that how effective it could be in solving the problems of a society, of a country, and of the entire world if you localize the solar energy solution. Unfortunately, that we don't see today. And even our governments are also trying to make a big power plants and a big centralization. But I think the real beauty of solar is when it is localized. That is where we get benefit of everything that solar energy provides.
Great, great. Now I would like to know about the many awards to your credit. The very first award you get, IEEE Global Grand Prize of $10,000 you mentioned in your conversation. Can you elaborate what was that prize and what was the motto of that subject?
Well, it was not a $10,000, it was $100,000.
100,000, 1 lakh US dollar.
Yeah, and I mean the theme, the competition was how do we empower billion lives? The billion lives who do not have electricity connection, and all over the world there are many places where still they lack electricity. And again, the whole idea of that we presented is, and not only presented, but also demonstrated that how local communities, even without having technical skills, can be empowered to assemble their solar products. And when they assemble it, they get confidence in the technology, they get skill, they get money, and the solutions, the solar energy solutions become affordable, available, and repairable. And we presented this idea, and we presented the scale and possibility of such an idea that in no time it will spread. In India, for example, it took us 70 years to provide electricity to everywhere, but with the solar solution, you don't have to wait. I mean, within a matter of months and weeks, you can install solar solutions. So this can be fast, this can be economically more viable, this can be more empowering to community. That's the whole idea we presented in this IEEE global competition of empowering billion lives. And we were the winner at the national level, and then Asia level, and then the field level. And finally, at the global round, there were 3 teams from each continent. And there are 7 continents, so 21 teams, and one team got a wild card entry, so 22 teams. And finally, we have beaten all 22 teams, and we were the winner of the global grand prize.
Congratulations, sir. And what about the Guinness World Record, 3 Guinness World Record? Can you tell me something about that one?
Well, when we do things at the scale, when we are talking about millions of people all the time, in all our project, it's 1 million, 7 million, 8 million. When we do things at that scale, and fortunately or unfortunately, the India provides such an opportunity. Our country is so big that everything is in a big number, right? So
Right.
We did this, and we got some 3 Guinness World Records of locally assembling and training largest number of people, and those are kind of the awards.
And
The Guinness World Record.
The first prize for solar chula design. Can you tell me something about it?
Well, I mean, the solar energy, when you look at, of course, people think solar energy is only for running your lights and fans, not cooking food, or not, running your ACs, for example. So there was a competition announced by ONGC, which was as an initiative of Prime Minister. And I jumped into this, and we started developing a very simple cook stove, and thinking about why solar solutions for cooking has not become very famous. I mean, we know solar box cooker has been there for ages, but it has never become the most successful technology, right? Because there are inherent limitations of compactness, convenience, control of cooking, cost of cooking, and all.
True.
And I kind of started looking how to solve such a problem, and how do we overcome the problem of convenience, that the user doesn't have to go to the outside in the sunlight. And of course, solar panels are a wonderful technology where you can generate electricity, and once electricity is generated, you do anything that you want to do. So we then develop a resistive-based cooking solution and induction-based cooking solution. And again, it was a various rounds, and we have cleared the rounds. And in the final round, national round, we demonstrated our technology, and we were the winner there also. So that was the Solar Chula Challenge.
Sir, now I would like to know about the books you have written, and how to get that books and subject of
Well, I
that.
mean, when I finished my PhD in Europe, and I came to India and started teaching solar energy, there were very few people at that time in the country, and there were no books available. So we used to buy books from foreign authors, which are expensive, quoted in dollar prices, and not affordable by everyone. So that's what I started thinking. First of all, we have to make the knowledge about the solar solution viable and affordable to everyone and available to everyone. And after teaching a couple of years, I had enough material, so I started writing. So I wrote a book on, just as an introduction, practical guide for the beginners on renewable energy. Then I wrote a fundamental book on solar PV technology and its applications. Then I wrote a book on technicians as a training manual. And then there's a book on the silicon solar cells anti-reflection coating, and there are Hindi translation of some of the books are available. So the whole idea of writing these books is to make the material on solar energy available to anyone and everyone in a simple language, in a cost-effective manner. And my books have become now very well known in the country, and wherever I go across, I always find somebody or other who would come to me and said, "Sir, thank you very much for writing those books. I have read it, and I have my career is built on your books." So I feel good about it, that people are actually using those books and making their careers and doing many things from the knowledge they got from the books.
I'm also one of your reader. I have also gone through one of your book. Very good written. And sir, can you tell me something about the 4 US patents you have already to your credit? What these?
Well, I mean, there are more than that. When I was doing PhD, the kind of technology I was working in, it was a thin film crystalline silicon solar cell technology. So normally when we talk about thin film, they are not crystalline. They are multicrystalline or amorphous or polycrystalline. But my target was to create a technology which is having a crystalline thin film. And because crystalline materials are higher quality as compared to multicrystalline or a microcrystalline, and they provides opportunity to create a higher efficiency solar cells. And the technology that I have developed was porosilicon, uplifting and then depositing with the chemical vapor deposition of very uniform crystalline layers and then making solar cells. Those are all very unique technology that I have developed, and that's why I got 3 patents during my PhD and then some patents after that.
Okay, okay. Now I'm going to talk about very subject that is very close to your heart, climate change, and what your view on the Conference of Party COP26 session and the 5 Panch Amrit statement given by Prime Minister of India. How to achieve that Panch Amrit statement? What is your view?
Well, first of all, the COP meetings, now just I think from tomorrow, I guess the COP27 meeting is going to start. The fact that 26 meetings have already happened, the fact that climate change is not stopping, it is not slowing down, rather it is accelerating. It tells me that the COP meetings are not working. It tells me that we do not understand the problem of climate change, or even if you understand, we are not taking enough action, or both of it. Neither we understand, nor we are taking enough action. And which kind of looks true because things are worsening every single year. And that's why I do not go to the COP meeting. And a lot of people suggest me to go, but I believe that rather than discussing, let us take action right now.
True.
And what Prime Minister Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji says is perfectly fine. I mean, Panchamrit or the Panchabhutas, our ancient cultures and scriptures are full of it, and it is very true. And one of the Rigved slok also says that, Prithvi Puhu Churvi Bhava, until unless the planet and all its resources are intact and protected, human life cannot be intact and protected. And because our Pancha Bhutas are in a bad shape, water quality is bad, air quality is worsening, the soil has degraded, the rivers are. So if the Pancha Bhutas are not in a good shape, human life cannot be in a good shape. I cannot tell it more strongly than this. And who is disturbing this Pancha Bhutas? Who is destroying it? It's not the government that it is doing. It's not the industry that are doing. Every user of energy is doing it. True. Every user of material is doing it. Every individual is doing it. Rich or poor doesn't matter. But only thing is, I think we do not understand, or we behave in a double standard. We are all causing climate change. We are all degrading nature. We are all creating pollution. But people don't feel that they are doing. People feel, oh, government should do this, or industry should do this, but they themselves shouldn't do anything. That is what people have to understand, and that's the whole purpose of my 11 years of Energy Swaraj Yatra, is to ensure that they understand and take action, to ensure that the Panch Bhutas are in a proper shape, if at all we want to remain in a good shape on this planet.
Great, sir, great. Now I would like to know about the upcoming seminar, conference of ARE, Action for Restoring Environment. Kindly throw some light on that.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for asking this. And the whole idea of this conference, Action for Restoring Environment, ARE, and the tagline of the conference is, are we taking enough action? And as I said, my experience and data suggests that no, we are not taking enough action. So who is not taking enough action? Government is not taking enough action. Industry is not taking enough action. Spiritual organization is not taking enough action. Media is not taking enough action. So the whole idea of this conference, which is on 24th and 25th of November in Delhi, Vasant Kunj, AICT, it is free for everyone, by the way. We've made it free for everyone. So all your audience, I invite them to attend the conference and really benefit. So the whole theme of the conference is pose this question: are we taking enough action to everyone, all sections of the society? And what is the gap between the current action and the real action required? Is the gap 1-fold, 2-fold, 10-fold? How much is the gap? If that is the gap, what is our approach to go there? How are we going to fulfill that gap? And what action we need to take? I think these are the big, not $1 million, not $1 billion. These are trillion-dollar question to every individual, every government, every institution, every industry that we must ask ourselves. And this conference that we are doing is a very unique conference, a very unique opportunity. Whether you are a government, whether you are an industry, whether you are a spiritual organization, whether you are an NGO or academician or just an individual or a media, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for everyone to be there and witness the very blatant discussion about what is happening and what is not happening and what can we do. So you're all most welcome. The website is rconference.org, ARE conference.org, and register, and it is first come first basis. Book your seats right now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for invitation. Definitely many people will get benefit of that conference. Sir, what I feel, whatever you're doing, there is some attribution, some contribution of your family also. Now I would like to know about your family. And the sacrifice of your family plays very important role in your yatra and your pledge not to go home for 11 years. Can you say something about that thing?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I am not going to go 11 years my home, but it's only possible because of my wife. I know she is taking care of the entire family, my children, daughters, and their education and keeping up the home. It's not an easy job for any women. And I always tell that more than my sacrifice, it is my family sacrifice is bigger. My children sacrifice is bigger because they have to do all this thing without their father. But they are supportive. They are not cribbing. They are not creating. I mean, in fact, they're always supportive. And thanks to the technology, we are meeting every day online at least. And also, I say that one-way traffic is always there. I don't go home, but they can always come. So once in a while, we keep meeting in the bus and discussing. So there's a great support from my wife, children, my father, brothers, everybody. And my family is actually becoming bigger and bigger now. Not only they, I think everybody is supporting. And I think Dr. Rajesh, you yourself has also been supporting in various means. So I think this is what is the whole purpose of this movement, Energy Swaraj movement, is to bring millions of people on board and let us all together start correcting the problem that we have all created.
And I have come to the last question, last but not the least. What is your piece of advice for the youth generation, not in India, abroad, across?
Well, I mean, I keep saying jokingly and very simple advice that look, guys, all the young people that look, guys, and all those people who are in their 40s and 50s and 60s of age, they are not going to do too much about the climate change because, another 20, 30 years, they are going to go up in somewhere, So the young generation is going to be left behind. Right. And as the climate change becomes more worse, there is more suffering that we are all going to face and see. And therefore, before it becomes too late, take the situation in your control. And the best way to take the situation in your control is to understand the problem. That it is me who is the problem because I am using energy, because I am using material, because I am traveling, because I am cooking food. Everything contributes to the problem. So understand that the size of the planet is finite. The resources of the planet are also finite. So make sure that your needs are also finite. Make sure that you produce them locally. Make sure that you are not part of the pollution, you are part of the solution. Make sure that you are energy independent. Make sure that you are not responsible for carbon emission. I think these are the basic fundamental rules to live on this planet. And if you're not going to follow these fundamental rules, no amount of science and technology development can help human life to sustain and survive on this planet. It is fundamental to our existence that we limit our consumption and we localize our production. I know you can call them the rules of Professor Solanki, laws of Professor Solanki. Limit your consumption, localize your production. And these are fundamental in nature. What does it mean? It's like Newton's law. Fundamental in nature. Every action is reaction. You cannot say that I don't like this rule and I hate Newton and I'm not going to follow the rule of Newton, law of Newton. Right? You can't say that. Similarly, you cannot violate the laws of Professor Solanki, limit your consumption and localize your production. You have to follow this law if at all we want to sustain and survive on this planet. If you are not going to follow this law, sooner than later, we will come to a situation when new species will appear on this planet, and they will say, once upon a time, there were humans on this planet.
But
I hope such situation will not come, and we will all take a corrective action, the climate corrective action from today onwards, starting from myself, because I need to be the change that I want to see in this world.
great, sir, great. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much for sparing your valuable time and giving your valuable thought for renewable energy uses. And you have given very good message to the youth what to do. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks to you for organizing this, and I hope the audience will benefit from it. And more than that, I hope the audience will start taking corrective action. One of the corrective action I want everybody to do is become energy literate. There is an energy literacy training that I have developed. It's available for free at learn.energysuraj.org, LEARN, learn.energysuraj.org. One of the first steps, if you really want to solve the problem of climate change, is become energy literate. And I keep saying energy literacy is the first step towards solving the problem of climate change. So become energy literate, say with the matter of pride that you are energy literate, announce in the social media that you are energy literate, encourage thousands others to become energy literate. And that is how we can together create a public movement. And without public movement, just with the policy and the project and profits, we would not be able to solve the problem. We need a movement where we generate and fulfill our own energy needs, where we become energy independence, where we adopt to energy Swaraj. And that is the real solution to the world's problem right now. So thank you very much to you also,
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Rajesh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sparing your time.